All right, let's build a brain. No, not a biological one, but something just as important, the brain for your AI. Today, we're going to dive deep and master the single most important skill for building a truly reliable AI agent, and that's writing its instructions. Does this sound familiar? You spend all this time building an AI agent, you're super excited, and then it just starts getting confused, or it goes completely off script, or it gives you responses that just make you scratch your head. Look, if that's you, you are not alone. And I promise, the fix is so much simpler than you think.
Here's the secret. The problem usually isn't some deep, complex issue with the AI model or a lack of data. Nope. Almost every single time, the problem, it's the instructions. And the best part about that? It means the solution is 100% in your control.
So, to really get this right, we need a little shift in our thinking. We're not just writing a few prompts here and there. We are literally architecting the agent's mind.
Instructions are the absolute foundation. They define everything, what the agent's job is, what its personality is like, and so important, what its limits are. This isn't just one little piece of the puzzle. This is the most powerful training tool you have at your disposal.
I love this way of thinking about it. Everything else you give your agent, all the documents you upload, all the different skills, they're just tools in a toolbox. The instructions, that's the brain. That's what tells the agent who it is and what it truly believes its purpose is. If you get that part right, everything else just clicks into place. Okay, so if we're building a brain, what are the ingredients? Well, it turns out there's a recipe, a really clear, actionable blueprint with 6 essential components for writing instructions that actually work every single time. So let's break them down. First, purpose and role. What's its core job? Then, tone and style. This is its personality. Number 3, and this is huge, we set boundaries. What should it never, ever do? Then we prep it for expected questions. And for the common tasks, we give it a step-by-step playbook. And finally, for everything else, we tell it exactly how to handle unknowns. So let's see how all 6 of these ingredients come together in a real-world example. Theory is one thing, but let's make this totally real. We're going to walk through a blueprint for an AI support agent for a fictional company we'll call Acme Software. Okay, first up, purpose, role, and tone. See how incredibly specific this is? It's not just a support agent. It is an AI support assistant for Acme Software. Its goal is crystal clear, help users troubleshoot, and its tone is defined as friendly, calm, and supportive. This right here is the core of its identity. And this table perfectly illustrates the next critical ingredient, boundaries. Honestly, that do not column is just as important, maybe even more important than the do column. You are explicitly telling the agent, do not guess, do not badmouth competitors, and do not wander off into tricky topics like politics or legal advice. This is your safety net. It's what keeps the agent safe and on task.
Now let's look at a specific workflow. For something like login issues, you don't just tell it to help the user. No way! You give it a precise protocol, a step-by-step script to follow, every single time. It's this structure that creates a predictable and genuinely helpful experience for your users.
But what happens when the script runs out of road, or maybe the user is just getting frustrated? This is where that final ingredient is absolutely critical, the fallback plan. The rule couldn't be simpler. When in doubt, escalate. If the agent is even a little unsure, or if the user types the word human, its only job is to connect them to a person, immediately. No guessing, no trying to be clever.
Now, it's important to remember that these instructions don't exist in a vacuum. They're like the command center of a much larger training ecosystem, and understanding how all the pieces fit together is key.
So let's clear up a really common point of confusion: instructions versus documents. The easiest way I've found to think about it is this. Instructions are the how. They set the agent's personality, its rules, its brain. Documents are the what. They're the library of facts the agent can look up. The instructions tell the agent how to go find and use all the information that's in those documents.
All right, we've covered the why and the how. Let's wrap all this up with a clear set of best practices that you can use, like right now, to write your first draft.
So, here it is, your final cheat sheet. Clarity is king. Agents need super precise directions, and trust me, bullet points are their best friend for workflows. Always, always, always include what not to do. That's your most important safety feature. Keep your tone guidance consistent to protect your brand, and please treat these instructions like a living document. They should evolve right alongside your business.
And finally, maybe the most practical advice of all. Don't try to write the perfect, novel-length set of instructions on day one. Just don't. Start small with the basics. Test your agent. See how it actually behaves out in the wild, and then iterate. It's a continuous cycle of refinement.
And there you have it, the complete blueprint for building your AI's brain. Right now, it's a blank slate, and it's ready for its very first lesson. So the only question left is, what are you going to teach it first?